So let's talk about Cottesmore. Fascinating place, and I've heard great stories from it. Yeah, talk about a bit your ground and flying training, and what was it like working with the other nations?
Yes, I wanted to get into the British squadron because I wrote a little bit before, and I heard it would be more tough, and it was really more tough than the German and the
Yeah.
Italians. And actually, I got a really, let's say, experienced flight lieutenant as a, let's say, the pilot who I flew with most. And at the ground school, it was, to be very honest, of course, difficult. You have to learn all the systems, all this, everything from the back seat, from the front seat. Um, it was really, let's say, a hard work, but I think I survived pretty good. And the flying, I think, in Britain was great. You know, we went already down to 200 feet. I was happy because the British squadron went for 2 weeks to Lossiemouth. So I had even some exercises already at that time in good old Scotland. And to be very honest, I enjoyed it. So it's a 3 to 4 months. On the other hand, I took my family. I had already a kid at that time with me to Cottesmore. So we lived in Oakham, where you have already two pubs in a town with 200 inhabitants. So it was very nice. So yet on the land and water. No, Cottesmore was really nice. So actually, we had all the missions and we went forward to it. And after 3 to 4 months, I finished. I think it was in September 1986.
And was each jet different to cater to the other nations' requests from the government, or were they all generally the same systems inside
I
at
think in
Cottesmore?
yeah in at the Triple TE the aircraft was quite similar. There was not so much difference at the very beginning. Later on, you know, especially the British, they developed GR1 and GR4. The German did a different development, but at Cottesmore the jets was quite the same because we flew in all aircraft. You know, every nation have to bring 1/3 of the aircrafts to Cottesmore, and actually, I didn't really see a difference.
And you always flew
This,
clean, so that must have been fun.
yes, it was even better. It was not only operational clean, so we didn't have all the stuff where you have put the tanks and the weapons on. It was a fully clean aircraft, and of course, the performance was much higher. And I think this was the only time when we flew even beyond Mach. But actually, it's very funny. You do not know when you go beyond Mach 1.0 unless you look on the instruments because there's no sound. You know, the tornado is very silent. Even when the cockpit is closed, when you start the engine, everything outside it's so noisy. 104 to 110 decibel, and inside it's really calm.
Wow.
And what I found is, you know, I had two flights on the F-104 later on. It's really comfortable, even if let's say the reclining of the seats could be a little bit more, like to the F-16 to stand the G's a little bit better. But actually, the Tornado, you had enough place to put your stuff, your pups or what you need. You know, at the time we flew with maps, and no, actually it was quite good aircraft.